being relentless at this journey. It's been very interesting journey. Really started from nothing and turned it into something.
Mic check. I'm good.
Mic check. Mic check.
You can read about success all day long, but if you don't put in the work, the mindset, execution, and the hustle behind your vision, it just remains a dream.
And when everything goes wrong, you have to take all the responsibility.
We uncover what high-level entrepreneurs, business owners do to rise up from hustling daily.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
The world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Join me as I share with you actionable tips to help you grow your business, learn skills, and help you level up in your self-development journey.
Your number one spot for business and personal growth is the Online Hustlers Podcast with your host, Esteban Andrade.
Every day I'm hustling.
What is going on, guys? Today in this episode of Online Hustlers Podcast, where we're bringing in here the hustlers, the online hustlers, the people that started from scratch, from very beginnings, and now they're making it big in the real estate investing side, because we're covering the real estate investing, marketing, and conversion episodes. During these episodes, we're going to cover different things about entrepreneurship, business, and real estate investing in the whole space of real estate wholesaling. Okay. And we have a very, very special guest today here. His name is George. He's located in Atlanta. He's actually a soccer fan, and he's about to go to a soccer game. We have George right here. He's actually going to the stadium later on today. Thank you, George, for being here, man, today. Very excited to have you here. We've been working together for some time now, and you're not the typical guru that people are, of course, seeing on Instagram and all this flashy stuff and in Facebook too, but you are doing pretty well with your partner in Atlanta, and I'm so glad I'm part of the team. I'm so glad that you're here. Please tell me, George, you are currently a real estate investor. You have a real estate investing wholesaling company with your client, with your partner, Cristo, and you're also a licensed realtor. Okay, and it's very curious to me that you guys are utilizing that strategy as well from a earlier stages in your real estate investing game, but I think this year has been one of the best years that you've had so far, after expanding different marketing channels and things like that. But please tell me, George, who are you, and exactly how have you been starting and ramping up in this game that is so hard and people don't make it? So please tell me a little bit more about that. I'd like for the listeners to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, so I'm George Smith. Thank you again for having me on the podcast. I'm a real estate broker and investor here in the Atlanta market. I started doing Florida market as well, but pretty much just got started regular wholesale, cold calling and everything. And I finally realized while cold calling, I was like, I kept getting a lot of sellers that were wanted either too much or we couldn't meet at certain numbers at a cash price. So I wanted to still get a piece of the deal and everything. So what I did, or what I thought about doing, was getting my license and incorporating that into my sales strategy, how I can start picking up deals here and there and eventually getting a lot more business and everything. So
that's quite amazing, man. Honestly, seeing you guys having consistency in the business is one of the things that I love. When I found you, I remember that you were doing the Atlanta market, focusing on a lot on cold calling. You, like you were saying, you were just using a cold calling marketing channel, and you were doing okay. You were doing quite well. But at some point, of course, you would see, with sifting through the list and going through the list over and over, and even just getting, even if you get the right amount of data, there's at some point that you're not going to get every single homeowner to sell their property, that is available to talk to you and have a conversation over the phone with you or your team. So you started doing inbound marketing, and you started expanding on more marketing channels. But let me backtrack. Let's actually have let me understand the story of you evolving in this real estate investing company with your partner Cristo. A lot of people love having would love to have a partner, because this is really lonely game and really also hard. So I love to understand from the beginnings, getting that partnership. There was
So me and Krista, so like I was saying, so I actually got started in real estate back in 2015. I closed my first investment deal, and I'd been closing a couple deals before I met Krista. I ended up meeting up him 2016. That was also another reason why I got my license. I was having trouble getting the next deal after I got my first deal. It took a while. I didn't really have all the systems and everything in place, and it was like fall 2016 when I started actually finding a direct marketing source that hit for me. And I was getting a lot of deals like that. And surprisingly, Cristo was actually one of my biggest buyers here in the Atlanta market before he was actually my partner. So he was a big part of my success in my early career. And I think he just got tired of doing the fix and flips side of things. So he saw that I was making pretty good money just doing the wholesaling part, and we decided to combine forces together.
That's good, man. So
yeah.
When you found Cristo to be one of your cash buyers, you of course had some sort of relationship with him already. But what was really that defining moment of you knowing this is gonna be the partner that I'm gonna take a bet on, and I'm going to try out building out something bigger? What is it that made you go with Cristo? Because a lot of people actually have a struggle in defining this at the beginning, and they want to partner up with people, they want to squat up with people, but not everyone has the strengths that are required to do that, or just the same mindset, the same frequency. I want to understand that from that partnership.
So for me, because when I first got into the business, I probably did what everyone else did. Oh, let me partner with my friends, and that never ends well. So I don't suggest partnering with your friends. You'll lose some friendships in this business, especially doing that. But the defining moment really for me and Cristo was when you're looking for your partner, you want to find somebody that is strong in your weaknesses, and then you want to also be strong in their weaknesses too. So we have a great balance, because wherever I'm weak, he's strong, and wherever he's weak, I'm strong too. So we balance very, very well.
Okay, that's awesome. So, what's your strength? Because this year you've done multiple deals already, more than last year. Of course, you've been having a progression ever since you started. What is your strengths that got you to being where you are right now in terms of making multiple figures and deals per year? What are your current strengths that has gotten you here with your partner?
I think for like my strengths personally, or strengths together.
Yeah, your strengths that gotten you here personally.
Just relationships, building relationships, man. This is, like I tell people all the time, this isn't I'm not really flipping or doing real estate. I'm just building relationships with people, and that's been my strongest character and trait.
When you say that they're actually creating relationships, are you talking about when acquiring properties or acquiring leads, getting leads in the relationship that starts with the homeowner, for example? Or what do you exactly mean creating relationships?
So relationships just with everyone that's in your team. That could go to attorneys, that could go to lenders, and just different people of all sorts. I mean, it doesn't just have to be the homeowner. It's everybody that you is affiliated into what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is a very kind of network and tight knit type of industry. I think that if you're working in Atlanta, you're most likely going to know who all or most of the wholesalers, title companies, or who are, but there is a differentiator right there that giving you the edge on people to trust you and make business with you. What I'm pretty sure you're that type of person in that in that partnership that you have with your partner. That is more like the people person, or like what kind of balance have you guys created in your partnership?
So pretty much the relationship, he's kind of more of the back end systems, kind of like leads, our marketing and everything. He kind of focuses on that, where I'm more so focusing on the day-to-day kind of status of deals, where we're at. I handle most of the dispositions and everything process, and kind of the transactional, just see where everything's at.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So he is he more like the kind of like operation analytical side?
He's the operational analytical side.
Okay. So what do you think has given you from the beginning of building this this business that you have right now, giving you the slight edge to say like, look, I'm one of the real estate investing companies that have successfully been going at it for a few years now, and making sure that you continuously have success. What do you think has given you a slight edge over, let's say, your competitors, other wholesalers, other real estate investors out there, other companies that are so many out there, to truly make you close the deals that you're currently closing at this moment?
I think our slight edge has really been just our relationship process of nurturing the lead and everything, and being able to really get down to the nitty gritty and finding out their motivation, and really getting like to know where we can actually get them on the spreads, and even get a lot more deals just off the relationship.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Yeah. What kind of systems or what kind of nurturing processes have you created to make sure that this is done well for every client that you guys get in the real estate investing side?
So one of the biggest things is just our follow-up process. We follow up with the leads like constantly. They're always in the know. I just had a closing today, and for example, the lady was going through a probate process, and just the whole time we just held her hand throughout the whole entire process, and she was just ecstatic that she didn't really have to go here and here just to get her house sold. We helped her through the entire process, and it just really made it streamlined everything for her. And even by doing it, we were knock her down 10 grand in price on that one.
So you, of course, you are the one to stop shop for your clients, and you're making that perception of time, effort by your clients decrease as much as possible. So
exactly,
that once you gather a lead, you're able to fulfill on that desired outcome of selling the house real well, and you provide immense value out of that. I've seen your guys that are in the back end following up, calling the leads, and of course having a good sales negotiation process with your CRM as well. But tell me, like, whenever you're actually getting lead generation done for yourself, what is the first thing that you're looking to do when a homeowner comes to you, or when a homeowner is said, yeah, I'm interested in selling your property? Like, what is that thing that has given you really that great edge? Yes.
Okay. I think for us, it's just really the value that we provide for these sellers. We're not really like looking to just like score the best deal or anything. We're really just trying to provide value in each of these sellers' lives. So it doesn't really, we're not just trying to wholesale everything. We're trying to operate as a real investment company. Like, look, we can help you with this, whatever your situation is. I think getting like deeper into the lead has been our edge. Like that first initial call is we're really just breaking the ice with these people.
Okay, okay,
and
that's
getting
great.
them to open up.
So you're getting them to open up. You're making sure that you're a real investment company, and you're providing them with different solutions. So I'm actually wanting to ask you this. You're a licensed realtor, right?
Yeah.
And you've been licensed already for how long now?
Since 2016. So what is it? 5 years now?
5 years. And ever since then, you've been actually diverging that type of tool that you have, which is the license, and being able to market the properties as a realtor, as a broker, with the wholesaling side. Okay. Has what type of changes in your conversion, sales, acquisitions have you seen ever since you had that?
So it's honestly been very, very helpful. Like, I mean, let's say, so one of the things that we provide is if we can't get a house like sold at a certain date or whatever, what we do is I also provide a discounted listing service for a lot of these sellers. And I think that's completely changed our business because unfortunately, we're not able to get every deal sold. I wish we could, but one thing that we do provide is also just getting it listed. And that's another option, also get a piece of the deal, sort of say.
All right. Sounds good. So when you're saying that you provide this type of listing opportunity, do you provide it at the beginning of the sales process, or
we mentioned we mention it at the beginning, but we don't actually do it until try and get it sold off market or wholesale it. We provide that. We'll mention it again kind of towards the end, like, hey, look, unfortunately, we're not able to do the deal at this price. It's too much work came up or something. But what we can do is we can actually list it on the market for you and see what offers we can get you. And we already set that expectation at the very beginning. So they already are cool with it.
They're cool with it. All right. Yeah. It's not like you're doing a bait and switch. People will try to lower the amount of asking price or trying to negotiate after already locking up the property on the contract. But you are actually setting the right expectations with your clients of how you can fulfill for them and they can get their desired outcome, whether that's a cash sale or whether that's a listing, right? What is the reaction that people actually get whenever they listen to your company saying, "Oh, I buy houses cash, but I'm also a licensed agent"?
So surprise! I was actually surprised that it really hasn't even changed anything. Most people don't really care whether you're licensed or not. I mean, as a licensed agent, you do have to disclose that, but most people don't.
So 5 years ago, when I'm assuming you were still doing the calls yourself, you pick up the phone, and how was that conversation with people like, hey, look, I can buy your properties for cash, but I have to let you know also that I'm a realtor. How was that conversation, and how did that evolve to now that you have a team and acquisition people? How is that different to when you were doing it yourself?
So it really hasn't changed much. People, when I used to pitch it to people back in the day, people would be like, "Oh, okay, well, if you can't end up buying it, it would be one or two answers. Some people would already say, "Hey, I already have an agent in mind. I don't need you to list it," or okay, one of my things that I would do is I'd give people pretty good rates on a lot of my on the commission and everything. So I would give them seller rebates and just different credits back towards their closing costs, so they'd actually save a little bit more money. So that was one of those things I used to do to just get some income coming in a lot more. So
okay, awesome. Yeah. Now, let me assume this: you were the relationship type of person, the network type of person that you would do with people, and Cristo is more back end, more systems, operations side. So, are you managing right now the sales team at this current moment?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So, from doing the sales yourself to hiring acquisitions people or lead managers, and lead managers, how did that process go? How can someone that is really struggling right now at three contracts a month only can level up? How can they level up in their sales and acquisitions process by building the right team?
You just gotta go for it. Finding the right people. You gotta just take your time. I would be slow to hire and quick to fire with a lot of these people. You really want to get slow hire, quick fire. So you want to find the right people and build A plus team. Get people that are hungry, motivated, really willing to risk it all for the business. That is family almost. Like if one of us isn't doing our job, then we're messing it up for the other person's family and everything. Like they don't get to eat, their family doesn't get to eat. No, if not everyone's working together.
Right. So a lot of people are actually struggling in determining, hey, should I start my closer on commission? Should I give them a base? And also, where do I get my closer? Like, where do I get these hungry people that can help me sustain my business? What is this that you currently are that you did and that you can teach us a little bit here, the listeners, has given you the right people so far?
So I really just met a lot of these people through my current network that I have, current relationships I built, and I find people that have had like sales experience, so they know exactly kind of what they're doing when it comes to sales, and they have some kind of gist of how to handle the sales process and everything. And that's how I found my best two. I've got 2 acquisitions guys and 3 lead managers right now. So, and
nice.
Yeah, both my acquisitions guys both have a background in car sales, actually.
Car sales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you got people that were very familiar with sales process. You just had to go ahead and teach them the industry and teach them the specific type of sales flow map that motivated sellers have, right?
Exactly.
Now, when you were picking these people, did they already have a job or like they were jobless at the time? Because I know that there's a difference between people that already have a job and they want to come in here and work now because you provide them a better opportunity, or people that are jobless and they're like nothing to do and they say they know sales. How is this process hiring these individuals?
So one of my sales guys, he did have a current job at his car sales job, and I just talked to him about it. I said, "Hey, man, you can make a lot more money working with me and everything, and just getting into real estate." And he's always had that interest, so he kind of just slowly stepped his foot into it, and finally quit his car sales job and now is full-time with me. Whereas I had another guy, actually our top sales guy, he actually was working on another business that he's working on, and he just needed some money to kind of in the meantime while he's selling his other business. So he came to me, and he's an absolute like beast of a sales guy. He's perfect renegotiator. He gets he only needs to contact these people maybe once, and he can get them right at the price that we need them at. So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, and he's straight commission because he just knows his worth. He knows he's going to make a lot more money just on the straight commission side. But when I know you mentioned earlier, like how should you bring someone on, like commission or base? And I guess that really just depends on where you're at in your specific business. Like when I started this business, I started making more money, and I was able to put one of my sales guys on commission. The guy I was just talking about, he will not go on base. He refuses to do base and commission. He wants to be straight commission because he knows he's
right. Because he knows that there is a lot of potential in just going straight by pure effort and grind, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty amazing, man. Now, you at some point realize that, hey, I'm having success in my company. I'm getting leads in. I need help. At what time did you start hiring these salespeople?
So it was around 2017. So it was around fall 2016. I started to see that I was starting 2 deals a month by myself. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to see some expansion. And it's funny, I was actually just getting off the phone with my grandfather who has a real estate company down in Florida. And he's like, oh, you got to multiply yourself through people. And I was like, huh, that's a great idea. And I started just tapping it in more into my network of salespeople and everything I knew. And I started finding more and more people that were in sales, and got them interested in the idea of real estate, and just really sold them on the vision.
Okay, awesome. That's you started actually hiring salespeople basically a year after, or a year and a half after.
Yeah, about a half a year and a half after I started.
Year and a half after.
Now.
What do you feel you unlocked once you got salespeople? Like, as business owners here, we usually unlock a lot time back. We unlock a lot time back to do high level stuff, and that's what I felt when I actually got salespeople. But I'm pretty sure you do too. What are you currently now focusing, man? Because you're looking to get your company to other levels, but what are you currently focusing on getting your company to other levels right now?
Really just how to provide them with getting more quality leads, and how we can just really follow up. I'm just kind of managing, seeing where any balls are being dropped, if people aren't making calls, certain follow-ups and everything. Just kind of staying on top of that is really my day-to-day, and just kind of going through some of the numbers, maybe things that are off, and if maybe we could go a little bit higher on deals. So that's pretty much my day-to-day over here.
Right now, you're managing that part of the operations. You're already part of the operations back end, more a little bit of a high level. But you mentioned getting more motivated and qualified motivated seller leads. Yeah. What has been your route this year, or the few months that you've been having more deals and more spread to make it happen? More of a consistent and, like you said, qualified type of motivated sellers. What have you been doing to get that done?
Really, one way is working with you guys just on these Facebook. We've been getting a lot more qualified and pretty determined and motivated leads through you guys. Just all these people are maybe up one night and they've been thinking, hey, I need to sell my house. And they go online onto Facebook or whatever, and they see our ad. And some of these are some of the most motivated people you'll get. And so along with Facebook and just really putting ourselves more online in the online environment, I think has been the biggest change I've seen this year compared to other years. We were kind of just doing everything old school, mailers, cold calls, we didn't have an online presence. So we've been really focusing on that a lot more just within this past year. And I think that's made a huge change in our business.
That's awesome. Now, I also know that you're currently running direct mail, cold calling, and we can combine all these channels to synergize together with PPC and Facebook ads. What do you feel that right now is giving you that power of being able to get more spreads in your deals? Because I think we had a conversation recently where you told me, hey, look, I'm closing even larger deals now. What is that you're doing now? I want to know. I'm very curious.
Really, it's finding that motivation, and kind of just finding that once you find a motivation. I learned this from one of my old mentors, is once you find a motivation, you get a knife, you stick it in it, and you drive it, and you kind of figure out what their bottom line is. And that's one of the things we've been doing a lot more, is once we find that motivation, is we will drill them, kind of get that bottom number out of them buyers, and to get them to pay a little bit more for the property as well.
That's awesome. So you find the motivation on the motivated sellers, and you find the motivation on the motivated buyers.
Yeah, there's motivated buyers out there too.
So you guys heard that. There's a key in getting larger spreads, more than your regular 5, 7K, 10K. And that is your sales process that you have both in your acquisition side and your disposition side. So being able to truly get the bottom line of your seller is truly important. Yes. But you also have another, I want to say, filter in your sales process, which is the buyer, which is the person that you're going to assign it to. So what if you actually have great negotiation skills and sales skills also with your buyer to get those higher spreads? And I think that high-level investors right now that are starting to do Facebook advertising, PPC, going in different states, getting into these different areas for targeting their market, are actually getting less deals but higher spreads, or the same amount of deals but way higher spreads, way higher assignment fees. All right. And that is what has been helping them increase their business. It's like whenever you have a store and you get so good at it and that you're in high demand, you just increase your prices. Here, basically, that's what you're doing. You're increasing your prices by getting it low, like in a warehouse wholesale, and selling it very high because you have a good product. You have a good sales process. So that is quite amazing, man. Honestly, I'm very excited here to learn how your company continues evolving. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a second episode about this, because I want to know whenever you guys are already making those multi-million dollar months and things like that. I want to really be there, be part of that journey, and get you back to this podcast episodes. Okay. So I am actually very pleased to have you here, man. I actually enjoyed having you here, getting to know you a little bit more, and of course, getting the audience to know you, because it's been great time for you doing business in this game. Now you're gonna go to the real game, which is Atlanta, and you have that that ability to just go to the game and just enjoy during the day. That's amazing, man. So I hope that the team wins. Atlanta. I'm also a big soccer game, and if you are going to the World Cup of 2026, 25 something here in the US, that's going to happen.
Is it, I thought it was because there is next, isn't it next year?
Next year on Qatar, but then 2026, which is 4 years after, it's going to be in the US, Canada, and Mexico.
Okay.
So
we
gotta go back. We gotta go to that, man. That'll be super exciting here. I just realized that you're a big soccer fan, so that's awesome. All right, man. Thank you for having us here. George, if there is anything that you can tell us, what really made you who you are right now, how would you describe it in one word or one sentence?
Relentlessness. Just being relentless at this journey. It's been a very interesting journey. Really started from nothing and turned it into something. So
Love it. How can people get in contact with you or ever get a hold of you if they would like to chat, do business with you?
they can reach out to me on social media. My user handle is just my name. It's George H. Smith. And then I'm actually the fourth. So I've got an IV at the end.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
All you heard them, guys. And thank you for having us here. All right, George, have a great time. Thank you for being part of this episode on the REI online hustlers, REI marketing and conversion episodes. All right. So thank you so much, George. And thank you for everyone.
Every day